Hey Internet, welcome to the Bit Drafted YouTube channel, and today I'd like to share my setup for resin printing and kind of show the safety tips that I use and kind of put the video out there to kind of help build a good strategy and methods for dealing with hazardous materials like these UV resins. So to start off, I've got this cabinet from IKEA. It's probably not as ideal as an expensive industrial piece of equipment would be, but for my budget, $150 about. This was great because it's got see-through windows, so you can actually see what the printer's doing, looking through it, to stop the print without opening the door, which is intended to keep the fumes out. So to start off here, I've got the uncured, and I've actually got a small USB extender, and it's only about 3 feet or so it's not a super long one, and I haven't had any data corruption problems with it at all. It's able to power the USB fine, but as you know, with the uncured, the USB adapter's on the back, and just to kind of avoid fussing with it, I put it right there. It's a lot easier to use, and I left enough room up top for both of these devices that you can take the tops off pretty easily. And this is my mess bucket down here. So what I usually do is take this and set it on the table behind me when I'm taking the part off, and I can actually lay the whole print bed for the uncured down with the long side on the bottom there, and use the spatula to scrape the print off without actually putting a lot of torque on that axis right there with that the set screw creeps in place. So this way I don't have to level my bed a lot because I didn't torque on that pivot joint there that levels the bed. And so when I take that out, I can actually just put it back in after I'm done, and I've got some more washing tubs there in my resin volume. But what's essential and critical, and help me explain, I got to show my other tools over here. So once I get the print off, I have the Mercury Plus cooling or cleaning station. So I take once the print comes off, I directly put it in here. And this is curing and washing. So I can take it starts off with this. I put it right in that tub, and it mixes it in that tub and cleans it off. Then I take the tub out and I replace it with that dish like you see now, and we'll use the lights and spin the table. But what's good about this is I actually have a old ultrasonic machine that I don't use very much, but the best part is this UV light. So if you have a pair of safety glasses like these that are UV resistant, and make sure they're not just tinted, make sure they're UV resistant, you can use that. Don't keep it below head level and don't point it at your eyes, but you can use it to cure this entire bucket. And just because you're curing your part and making your part safe to touch doesn't mean you should be leaving messy things like this uncured, and not curing the wash bucket either. So the ideal scenario, I think, is one in which everything that comes out of the printer is cured, even if it's not washed. And I have a UV flashlight as well, but that's not as sustainable as a light like this because it runs out of batteries. And I like to leave the light on like 10 minutes on either the bucket with resin in it or the bucket where I get the parts off. And this is another thing too that I can use to kind of bring parts in and out of this tub without reaching in myself. So of course this whole process is done with a mask on and UV glasses and gloves, of course. But I just wanted to share this setup because it's pretty convenient. with the IKEA setup. I mean, ideally, I think it would be good if I could have the blue light on and have one side not transparent. That way I wouldn't be exposed to as much of that UV light. I mean, this light's powerful enough to give you a tan. You know, so it's like basically a tanning bed level light. So, like, don't stick your hand under it or anything. You know, for more than a couple seconds. And yeah, and this is basically my setup. So if you have a better setup or a better idea on how to cheaply and safely use this technology, then leave it in the comments below. Leave me a like and visit my Patreon page in the description. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.